Were you nervous before Death Magnetic was released, how it would be received, and were you surprised at how quickly everything just came right back again?
Not nervous. You know, whether we sell a lot, don't sell much, people come to see us on the road or not, we have to write. We have to be Metallica. I have to write songs, or else something happens in me, and we don't want to know what that is. But I have to be creative, have to keep writing, and we all need that. We all need to do that. And whatever it was to be, whatever the album was going to come out as, it would have been exactly what it's supposed to be and the best it could have been, because we're into doing the best that we can. And there is some surrealness to when actually we were over in Europe when Death Magnetic was dropping, and the hype was unbelievable, and it was surreal is the word. It felt like, wow, this is a good feeling that people are liking what you're doing, even though you just keep telling yourself, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. It's nice when people identify with your creativity.
Well, if you're not, recording or touring or doing that stuff with Metallica, you're home pissing off your neighbors, so it's probably a better thing that you're out on the road.
Yeah, well, we are road dogs. We have been since day one, and I've been saying that, the record sales are one thing, but the people showing up at the shows, that is the ultimate sign of respect, I feel. You can buy the new album, you can rest on all those laurels about album sales and things, but at the end of the day, if we go on tour and no one's showing up, that sucks. Because that's where we get our energy for the next record, That is the ultimate satisfaction, being on stage and having the whole family out there, enjoying your songs.
I thought it was really cool that you guys bucked the trend of the big, expensive ticket packages that so many artists in your position, will charge $300 for a ticket because they know that people will pay it. And you guys went into this tour saying, no, we're going to keep the ticket prices low. And I just thought that was really cool.
You'd pay $300?
To see Metallica? Absolutely. But I got tickets for free.
Right. No,
Sorry.
Yeah, well, we're not out for that. I mean,
Right.
I'd rather see more people and less revenue. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to feel good, and that's what would make us feel good.
Obviously, you have a little bit of a scar that needs to heal after the recent football season.
This is a lot of scars from past seasons.
You're in Patriots Nation, and we're all a little sad too. So
Yeah. Well, they had their time. They had a great time as well. It is what it is. It doesn't rule my life like it used to. Maybe when I was 12, but you got to support them no matter what. Support your team through thick and thin, and that it's not unlike your band. When your band's going through a tough time, you stick with them. Don't stick it. You stick it to them. You stick with them, hopefully.
I also have to ask you about some of your hobbies and stuff, because I, like you, ride motorcycles, and I'm getting into shooting, which is kind of a new thing for me. I was always kind of a little bit weirded out by guns, but over the past week I went to a shooting range and got to fire like 30 rifles and all the big machine guns and the Tommy guns and stuff.
Yeah, once you shoot your first person, you're hooked.
No.
Right. It's a joke.
Yeah, he hasn't killed anybody that we know of.
You know of.
That I know of, and nobody's found the bodies yet, so.
Yeah, guns are fun. Yeah, I'm teaching my kids how to, have proper gun safety. We've got some property out around where we live, and, riding quads and dirt bikes and, getting dirty and having fun like that.
What about motorcycles? I know you got the big chopper, but what else have you kind of collected along the way?
Only a few garage fulls of cars. There's a lot. I got a lot of cars.
And so have you been to Jay Leno's garage, or has he been to yours? Because
No.
it seems to be this sickness that once you get it, you just start hoarding these cars.
Yeah. Well, there's a few guitars as well, and I think I invest in things that I dig. As simple as that. And you can buy things because they're a good investment, or you can buy them because,
They kick ass.
yeah, exactly, you know. So there's actually both going on in most of those hobbies that I have. As far as the motorcycle riding, I've been doing that less and less because of the kids, and I just, I'll go ride, even if it is just a nice, just me in the
Right.
back roads. I'll come back and lay in bed and go, wow, that time that I was going 100 around that curve, maybe I shouldn't do that. Thank you, God, I'm still alive.
Well, it must make you look back at all the things you've done and make you thankful that nothing's happened to you with all the things you've been through.
No, there's no doubt about that. A lot of those things were, alcohol induced, and there's some wreckage to clean up. But as far as me being clear now and thinking riding a bike, I'll stick to four wheels right now. But yeah, I'm in a car club. We got lots of different cars. As far as Jay Leno goes, it's nowhere near his collection. I mean, I know people that have collections of thousands of cars. It's crazy. And, you drive a different one every day, you still won't get through your whole, stable of cars. But yeah, it's a wonderful sickness.
Even though you're the lead singer of Metallica and you got the tattoos and the cars and the motorcycles, do your kids think you're cool, or have you hit that point where Papa Het is just dad and you're not cool dad?
No, I'm just dad and cool right now. I think when it turns out that you're the parent. It's not like your dad, you're the parent, you're the enemy. It hasn't hit that yet. My kids are 7, 8, and 10, so they're still enjoying.
They're not embarrassed by you yet?
Well, I do my best. I try hard. Father's embarrassing kids since 1694. No. Last night, my youngest daughter, who just turned 7, it was her birthday last night. I brought her on stage in Philly and had 18,000 people sing her happy birthday. I'd say that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But what happens when...
My dad never did that for me.
I wonder why. But what happens in a few years when she's a little older and somebody shows up at the house, and what happens then? Then you're not going to be so cool.
No, show them the gun collection.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'll be okay. We're molding them as good as we can these days to make the right choices, and people have to screw up. People have to fall and make their own mistakes. I understand that. And, the teenager goes off to be a teenager. It's like I'm teaching these kids to be individuals. And as soon as they want to be, wait, don't, you gotta have them do that. And when that time comes, hopefully I'll be ready. Simple as that.
What is the next goal for either yourself or for the band now that you've kind of, you got the hit album back out again, the tour is completely sold out? Is there something left for you now, especially with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction? Is there another level that you've kind of set for yourself, another goal you haven't achieved?
Yeah, there's always goals, certain places that we haven't played before, like on the planet. But I think goals, you kind of make up in your mind, but really I think what happens with us is challenges appear. All of a sudden, hey, this is, and it's something there's no way we would have thought of, whether it's, some other media thing or, like the Guitar Hero thing. It's like, there's no way. And
why didn't they have that when we were kids? It sucks that they didn't have that.
Yeah, they did. It was called Pong.
Yeah. It's not the same thing. So not. It didn't even have a soundtrack. It was just dunk, dunk.
Yeah. It was somewhat mesmerizing. Yeah, there's something that will appear.
What about commandeering a jet and just flying to Baghdad and playing for the soldiers? Could we sneak
Great
you into
idea.
Iraq somehow?
Great idea. Yeah. I would. We're doing our part. We're doing our best, as far as supporting. And we were just in D.C. and went to the Veterans Hospital there, and it was pretty heavy, pretty darn heavy. And, tried to bring as much Metallica goodwill as possible and, offer our love and support for that. And there were guys that had just come back, like a week before. They're just kind of waking up and discovering they're missing a few limbs. And man,
And James Hetfield is standing at the foot of the bed.
yeah,
It's kind of surreal experience.
with a shirt.
Yeah.
Here, this will fix everything. No, it's heavy. It's
Yeah.
really heavy. And that gig that night was, we were pretty grateful to be alive and running around on stage.
I know there are going to be a lot of soldiers there tonight, and it's so awesome to see those guys kind of come home and then, be able to get back into their lives again,
Right.
and to hear the stories that they all listen to your music over there, and it kind of reminds them of home is pretty cool.
Absolutely. I will never know what they went through, and I don't know if anyone will except themselves. And the old stories of my dad.
Back in the day.
My dad was in the the war, and hey, Gramps was in World War II, and he won't tell us anything. It's like I would just like shut up and not want to say anything about it. I think these days people are a little more open into discussing what's going on in their heads and let the insanity out, and actually talk about what kind of troubles they're going through. That hospital seemed to be pretty amazing, and they were getting some really good treatment there, and everyone we talked to said that they were getting treated very good. And so I think things are a little different. I mean, I'm sure that's not how it is every single where, but at least what we get to see. But yeah, guys coming back saying, hey, my tank was called Seek and Destroy, and this and that, and your music helped us through this. And it's like, man, you'll never know how that makes me feel. Just the inspiration coming. It's like this snowball. It just goes back and forth. It's like, well, you guys inspire us. No, wait, you inspire us. Wait, no. And it just it keeps going, and it's a great thing.
Well, tonight you're playing at the Garden, and it's completely sold out. And now with all the albums and all the material that Metallica has to choose from, how do you whittle that down into a set list? Because I was looking at the set list over there. I got a sneak peek. There's so many other songs that you go, oh, they just don't have time to play that one. Or is there a fight? Is there, is it rock, paper, scissors? How do you guys decide?
Yeah, Rochambeau. That's from last night.
Oh, so we don't even have inside information now? Oh,
no.
Come on.
All the filming you did of that, don't worry. No, it'll be different. We got about 4 or 5 slots in the set that rotate all the time. We like to keep some songs pretty much the same. The 2 openers, pretty much. You want to hit them with Death Magnetic, and we've got, like you said, we've got a whole Santa sack full of songs. And it's fun to just sit in the dressing room and go, what do you feel like playing tonight?
Do you guys still do that? It's not all coordinated ahead of time for the pyro and all that? You guys still...
Well, there are some places that it's more like, here's the slots in the set. Pyro is going to happen here, whether you like it or not.
You've learned that lesson. It's good to know when that's going to happen.
Exactly. So whether it is, Blackened or Damage Inc. or you Fight Fire, there's pyro can happen in those songs. So we've got that thing pretty much worked out. Because for me, it's good when the set is somewhat honed in. It kind of becomes a good sharp weapon where I know what's next, and boom, I can be on it, and the rap is kind of there, and but it is nice to really mix it up and make the sets different and
throw a curveball at people every once in a while.
Well, and ourselves. That's more important. When you get a little complacent with the set, that's no good. People don't want to see that. So it's nice to sit in the dressing room and say, hey, what do you feel like playing tonight? Oh, okay, let's do this. And, well, we haven't done this in a while. Okay. No, that song sucks. Oh, okay, come on, let's try that. Okay, we'll do yours tomorrow night. Okay, good. So
there's an open dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got to thank you for taking the time. I know you guys are real busy backstage, and you got your families out on the road with you, and there's a lot going on, so I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us.
Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for your support.
Thanks for logging on to WAAF.com. You'll always find the coolest stuff here, so you got to keep checking back, and we got to thank James Hetfield from Metallica. Hope you had a good time at the show the other night. I'm Mistress Carrie. Bye.